Good morning. This is Single Again for the first time, Podcast 9 Q&A. This is Vincent Truman, Chicago, Illinois, April 14th, 2013. Somewhere around there. Yes, the title of this is Q&A, and I have fielded some emails, and I'm pulling some questions from a forum that I'm involved in, and I'm going to apply my magic to them in just a couple of minutes. Quick dating update. January girl, who I've mentioned twice before as the first woman post-divorce that I found just wildly attractive. She and I have been texting and talking a lot. It's been textacular. And we've been having a very 40-something flirtation thing going on. And the way that a 40-something flirtation thing is different from a 20-something flirtation thing is the 20-something flirtation thing is kind of like, you want to get a cup of coffee? And a 40-something flirtation thing is more like, well, what kind of wedding do you want to have? And she said, well, what should I wear? And I said, well, you can't wear white. And she said, well, I'll wear red. And I said, well, my ex-fiance, who is my best friend, is going to be my best person. And January girl said, well, she'll have to wear a tux. And I said, well, that's fine. So we have like this image of everybody on my side wearing a tux, everyone on her side wearing a tux, and her in the middle wearing this amazing red dress. Now, I'm seeing kind of like an off-the-shoulder flamingo, la cucaracha kind of dress, which might not be what she has in mind. But it's in my mind. Let me tell you that. It's hot. Now, I mentioned this to a couple of friends, and this particular exchange, and a couple folks have said, you want to be married again? And I'm like, yeah, I had the warm-up marriage. I'm ready for the main event. I actually really enjoyed being married. I was skittish going into it, and a lot of people attributed that to a fear of commitment. I'm sure you've heard that. I would postulate that it's much more of a fear of abandonment. Because us guys, we're trained from a very early age that nobody really has our back. Men are, it's not just me, men are very reluctant to even go to the doctor. I find this is a very universal thing, much more universal than I thought. I mean, they'll go, but not like immediately. So I think it's much more of a fear of abandonment issue. But, you know, I burned through that, and I got married, and I was abandoned 2 years, 2 years later. My marriage, which I lovingly call the last of the Kardashians. Which, that actually kind of feeds right into the most popular question, or the most frequent question that I've received and I've seen on forums, which is, when does it get better post-divorce? And I've got the answer. You ready? Here it is. I don't know. Everybody's different. It's some people have come up with a formula. You know, well, it's 1 year for every 2.5 years you were together, or something. I don't even know. I didn't pay attention to that. Somebody said it, and I thought it was bullshit. I would equate it much more with learning to work out or learning a new language. Because it's all new. And you can work out for 12 hours on the first day, and the second day you'll just feel like shit. But if you press on and press on and press on, months and months will go by, and it'll be a little bit easier. For me personally, it was about 13, 14 months in a black hole before I even saw the light of day. Good times. The whole of 2012 was like, I thought the Mayan thing was all about me, because it did seem like my world ended. Yeah. I'm going to go to questions now. Question, how do you do a legal separation? I can only really speak for Illinois and a no-fault situation. But Illinois does require that you have 6 months separated before you file for divorce. The upshot of that is you kind of determine when the legal separation began. You can live in the same domicile and still be separated. That was the case with me. I think the ex-wife moved out in January of 2012, but we kind of backdated the separation to November of 2011, so we could actually just get on with it and get divorced in May of 2012. Next question. I'm 26 years old. My ex is 21. We broke up in September. She left me for another man. I love her with all I am. I want her every day. I just don't know what to do anymore. I've tried moving on. I've tried to date other people. The only thing I can think about is her. Here's the question you have to ask yourself, young man. How much of your time and strength and energy do you want to put into somebody who has no time for you? Make that choice. Next question. This was from a forum. I really love this page. It has helped me more than you realize, but it's hard to see how bitter people are. I wasn't the victim. I walked away from my marriage. There was no one else, just no love. I'm going to stop that question right there because I hate you, whoever wrote that. It's hard to see how bitter people are is a bullshit line because that's suggesting everybody's experience is like yours. How could you be bitter? I'm fine. Nice. Run with that ego. I wasn't the victim. I walked away from my marriage. And I walked away from my marriage comes 2 sentences after it's hard to see how bitter people are. Wow. Nice blinders. You could get a job as a horse in Central Park. There was no one else, just no love. Love is a two-way street. It sounds just by that very brief description that you decided there was no love and you walked away from your marriage. You're an awesome individual, and I hope you never breed. Next question. I've been having a very difficult time moving forward after my separation. I've been going through a divorce for almost 2 years, and I have full custody of my children. My life is all about them, and being that they are very young, 7 and 3, I'm so focused on how the divorce affects them that all my time goes to them, and I feel like I have no personal life, and nor will I have one in the near future. Does anyone else feel this way about getting out there and meeting people? Why is it so complicated? Why is it so complicated? Because everything is feeling like you have no personal life, and does anybody feel that way about getting out? Everybody feels that way about getting out. It's like what I said about learning the new language. It's all brand new, and the first time you do it, it's gonna suck. Don't expect it to be amazing and step out and like everybody goes, oh my God, you're here. And then everybody starts salsa dancing. That's not going to happen. I would recommend there is a website called meetup.com. Meetup is one word. Go in there, plug in some interests that you like, and find some social events that would interest you. And check it out. And keep your expectations in check. Go out. Have a good time, as good a time as you can, and do it again, and do it again, and do it again. And then, do it again. Next question. 8 months back, I found out my husband was having an affair with a 17-year-old. Oh, by the way, I read ahead. He's 28, so it's not as weird as it could be. It's not a To Catch a Predator situation. I legally separated from him when I found out. Since the split, he's still seeing this girl. I see his car at her house. What are you doing going by their house, weirdo? And people tell me they see them in public. It's hard for me to imagine her parents being okay with the relationship. 28-year-old alcoholic, married with 2 kids, dating their daughter. From a legal standpoint, it's okay, but on an ethical standpoint, no way. Her parents know she's dating him, but I don't think they know his background, age, affair, drugs, alcohol, children. Should I tell them? Not out of malice, but because they should know. No, and I don't believe the not out of malice thing, and they'll know in time. So focus on yourself and focus on your kids and focus on getting sole custody and focus on the divorce, and that's where your priorities should be. Final question for this round. Finding dating as a divorced dad difficult. So many women have been hurt in so many ways, and they seem to have an inherent distrust from the first word. Sometimes it feels like they've decided, I'm a man, and a man did this to them, so I'm guilty by being a man. How can I be expected to give a woman a fresh start in my life when they've already filled their slate with reasons why it won't work, hardly getting to know or giving me a chance? My first thought out of the gate is look in the mirror. Know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be worried about giving them a fresh start in your life. You should be worried about giving yourself a fresh start. Look at yourself closely, realize what you're after, what you're like, and what you're ready for, and then proceed from there. Second thought is a variation on that. What kind of woman are you being attracted to right now? I know for me personally, post-divorce, the only kind of women that I would look at were women who physically were like my wife and had personality traits like my ex-wife. Because that's what I was used to. That's what I was comfortable with. I wasn't happy with it, but I was looking for continuity in a situation where there was none. So those 2 points. Think about those. Okay, that's a bunch of Q&A thingies. Thank you very much for listening in. Please continue to write or comment or whatever you like. And carpe your life, man. Just carpe your life. It's all good. Have a great day. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.